Hello and welcome to Strategy Battle Gamers, the Great British Hobbit League YouTube channel. Here with your host GBHL Jamie, and there's no GBHL James today. He is pretty ill, apparently. Been to the doctors, he's apparently been told to take 10 days off work, so he's not going to be able to do the Q&A this week. Hopefully he'll get one done, if not, you've got me. I'll just center this a little bit more. There we go. So, starting off, we've got Joe Holohan. He says, "Hey lads, only found your channel a month or so ago, and I haven't played a game in years, but you've reforged my interest, and I have one lined up to learn the new rules. Also, after watching your bat reps, I think a banter-style bat rep between Mini Wargamer Dave and GBHL James would be a great laugh, as you're both great showmen. It's a tall order, maybe one day. Cheers for all the time and effort you put in. Deadly stuff." Smiley face. Yeah, I think they would. That probably would be a good game. I actually, for Mini Wargaming, when Mini Wargamer Dave does his things, it's the least likely I'm going to watch. I personally don't like his style of presenting. Next up we got the Prancing Pony. The Prancing Pony says he's going away on Tuesday, so forgive me for not sharing your videos, but will do when I spend a whole day watching them when I get back. And what do you think of all-mounted TC? All-mounted TC. TC. I don't know what that's abbreviated for. No, sorry, can't help you there, Prancing Pony. TC. No idea. Sorry. Next up we got David Whittaker. Thanks, the whole two-handed single-handed debate seems to have been cleared up. No need to return your Axemen, James. They can still feint single-handed as they have a dagger in their belts. Also, they look awesome, which the Axemen Arsenal do look very cool. I'm looking forward to some Batman content, and I'm thinking of picking up the Watchmen minis for the game. What do you think of the quality of the models you've bought for the game so far? A Batman unboxing would be pretty cool. Keep up the good work, and for James to read in his Batman voice, "Where's the trigger?" I don't do impressions well at all. So the question is, quality of the minis. The quality is actually really good. Very, very good. They are a little bit larger than Lord of the Rings, so you get a bit more detail in them. And yeah, on the whole, they've been pretty cool, and they seem to be well received in that community. Though we still don't know the rules, so don't think we'll get any content anytime soon. Next up, we've got Kankraz the Orc. Hello guys, I haven't had any questions for a long time, but now I have. I'm starting a Hobbit army, as you might well know, and I have a 500-point army list. Hobbits aren't entirely competitive, but this might work. Hobbits are competitive, don't be misled by them. Warband number 1, Bull Roarer, is the leader of the army with 1 ent, so he must be coming from the Wanderers in the Wild list there. Warband 2, Merry, Captain of the Shire, with 12 Battle in Brandy books for Strength 3, I believe those ones are. Pippin, Captain of the Shire, with 12 Battle in Brandy books, again Strength 3. Paladin Tuck with 12 Tuckish Hunters. Are they Fight 3 or are they still fight Strength 3? And Warband number 5, Farmer Maggot, as a cheap drop. Now my suggestion in this army here would be to make Paladin Tuck your general, with his courage 6 and big standfast. He's great for a general, and it means the Bull Roarer can get into combat and you can use him where you want him. That would be my suggestion. Otherwise, the ent is going to be your big hitter. Looks good. Try it out. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with how they do. They're not entirely uncompetitive. Hugh Janus says, "Wow, your gym looks amazing. Glad it's coming along." James' gym is going to be well chuffed. It is very, very cool. And I'm sure he'd say thank you if he was here. Next up is Jeremy Smith. He says, "Can you recommend a hotel in Manchester or Stockport that would be good centrally located as a base of operations for an extended 2 to 3 week tour of England? Not too pricey, but not a hostel either." You know what? I wouldn't know. Obviously, I live in Manchester, so I wouldn't know what the good hotels are in Manchester. If anybody has visited and can suggest a hotel for Jeremy Smith, if we can get a game win with him, that'd be perfect. But just comment below if you've been to Manchester or Stockport and stayed at a hotel. I believe the Britannia was pretty well received by the Stockport people last time. Hope that answers your question, Jeremy. Next up, we got Joem7210. And he says, "Thank you for answering my question last week. That has really helped my games. Sorry for the confusion." I don't remember what the question was. I apologise. Glad you like me. We'd love to play against you guys at some point. Question, which of these would be your favourite Dwell in the Dark or a Cave Troll to have in a Moria force? I'm going to say the Dwellers in the Dark. I've seen someone called Charles Sims, a scumbag, use them really, really well and just not die basically. So yeah, they get my favour over Cave Troll. Next up, we got Cinder COD, Cinder Call of Duty maybe. Question: who wins in a fight, Bard or Legolas? Keep up the great work, guys. Keep it up. It's got to be Legolas, hasn't it? It's not even a question really. Even in game, I'd probably give it to Legolas with his elven cloak. Next question is Mr. Fewitt. He says, thank you for answering my question last week. Definitely going to pick up some Wozers now. Yes, join the Woz Elves. My question this week is about a 500 point list that I've been thinking about for a while. I was wondering if you could critique it and give some suggestions with it. Here it is. Warband 1. Celeborn with heavy armour, elven blade and shield. 6 Gladron warriors with spear and shield. 5 wood elves with spear and 1 wood elf with banner. It's a decent warband. Warband 2, Thranduil, the old version, with 8 Mirkwood Guard with bow and spear. Bow and spear is fantastic. I'm always equipping with both. And 4 wood elves with elven blade. I'd be tempted at 500 points to drop out Celeborn for Legolas, gain about 40 points back or so, and potentially upgrade some of those wood elves with spear to go into the Gladron Court just to get you some extra fight sticks around. And a specific question about the list: would dropping the spears on the Gladron warriors be worth it? It would allow me to make 2 of the Gladron warriors into Gladron Court guards, I think. Thank you too for all the hard work you do and put into this channel. Keep it up. I don't know. I like having spears on as many models as possible because it gives you just the fluidity and the tactical flexibility to support anyone at any point. So I'd say keep them personally. Next up is Daniel Peacock. He says, thank you for such a warm welcome to the Speak Friendly Questions series, and thank you for your advice about the Red Royal Guard question. I wanted to ask you what you thought about the future of the Hobbit SPG. It seems that Games Workshop released models in conjunction with the films, other than some models in the Lord of the Rings range. And do you think they will ever revisit the original Lord of the Rings models and release new ones? Many thanks once again. This channel has fast become my favourite on YouTube. Happy strategy battle gaming. Well, thank you, Daniel, for making us your favourite YouTube channel. That's amazing. And do you think that Games Workshop will ever revisit the original Lord of the Rings models? Probably not. If they've not done it by now, they're probably not going to. The Perry brothers or Perry twins have left Games Workshop. Their contracts ended, so they were the big driving force behind Lord of the Rings models. So I doubt we'll see them revisited, unfortunately. Next up, we got Timothy Eyre. He says, "Hi guys, first time writing a question to you. What happens with the mount if I use Bash on a mounted model? For example, Nazgul on a Fellbeast. P.S. Best strategy battle game on YouTube, GBHL channel." Yes. What happens if you bash a mounted model, for example Nazgul on a Fellbeast? Bash, that is the one that knocks over, right? If it is the one that knocks over, you would be dismounted and get rid of the Fellbeast. Next up is Kurt Leach. My list is 1000 points and includes Thranduil, the King of Mirkwood with an elf bow and armour with 11 Mirkwood Rangers, 1 Palace Guard with banner and shield, Legolas with elven cloak and armour, 12 Mirkwood Rangers, Tauriel, 12 Mirkwood Rangers, Gandalf, Bombur and Alfred, Thane the Broken with 10 points left to spare. Scumbag. What a scumbag. So, I'm back. My pizza arrived and I had to go collect it. Yeah, so Kurt Leach, you are a scumbag in my opinion, and yeah, the list is good for 1000 points. Plenty of bows, obviously. Gandalf's going to stop you being shot back, and Alfred and Bombur are going to be scumbagging it up and getting lots of might. So yeah, do one. Next up, we got Kyle Nelson. He says, "Thanks guys for answering my question about the Middle Earth fitness program. I agree with you what you said, and often imagine it like the Rocky 4 training sequences in Russia, where Rocky is running through the snow, pulling a sleigh and using stones for weights. My question this week is about Grima Wormtongue. I've used him in game once and did not use him as well as I could have. What is the best way to use him in your opinion? Thanks, and happy strategy battle gaming to you guys." Best way to use him is to attach him to, you know, the leader's warband or the main combat hero or the a wizard's warband, or you know, like a shaman or something. Get him in range of them. He's great at just being a pest, Grima. That's his main use in the sort of the game. Just have him around. Next up, we've got Matt Rondeau. Oh, hello, Matt. He says, "Hey there, guys. Thanks for asking my question again. My ridiculously long essay of a question." That's fine. James probably read it out, not me. "I'll keep this one short for a change. Haha. If there were to be any old models that you wish still in production or given a plastic kit, what would they be and why? Personally, I'd go for the old Lothlorien elves because I find they look more graceful than the new plastic kits they have for them. Thank you for your time and keep up the great work." Any old models that I wish were still in production or given a plastic kit? I think Warriors of Arnor would be cool to have a plastic kit, as would the Hobbit models. They'd be great to have in plastic. Just because you need quite a few of them, and metals are a little bit expensive. More done lendings, that'd be nice. Hi guys, this one's from James Stevenage. Question is, I was wondering what the best way to use my Warriors of Erebor led by Thrain would be. They do have good defence. Also, I'm thinking of taking one more Army of Thor warband. What should it be? Thank you. Yeah, they're going to be line fighters, your Army of Erebor, Warriors of Erebor, and they will just grind down the opponent. If you're taking one more, it depends obviously on the points value, but I would think either Dwalin, Thorin are great leaders, or if you're going for a cheap warband, Balin with sort of more Warriors of Erebor, that's the way to go. Shield and spears. Next up, we got Yam Cider. That's a name I've not seen for a while. It says, "Hello guys, I forgot to ask a question last week, but I've been watching all your unboxings and came across one where Damien does the James impression, and I laughed so hard I forgot to ask a question." Let us know which one that is, I can't remember. My question this week is, if you were in a fight against a hero, and you have a shading range, and you both roll 6s, can your opponent might the roll to win on the higher fight value? Yes, they can. This came up in a recent game, and I told my opponent no, because the die still counted as a 6, even with the -1, you can't might to a 7. So for the long question, hope it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. There's a bit of a difference between a dice roll and a dice score. So you can adjust your score with might. So let's say the dice roll is a 6. So you've rolled a 6, and the shade will adjust your score down to a 5. You can then increase it up to a 6 with might, because might will alter the final score of anything. So yes, you can actually do that. You owe your opponent an apology. Next up we have Stephen Brown. He says, "Hey guys, I have a serious question about The Last Alliance. TLA, The Last Alliance, has been around for a long time and produced some quality work. However, most members moved over to the One Ring when there was some server downtime, so it's not particularly active anymore. It seems unreasonable to have more than one English-speaking community site for the hobby, in my opinion, given the growth of the Facebook groups. In recent times, One Ring was more heavily into providing a visual experience, painting, challenges, more works in projects, etc., whereas TLA had more army list discussion and battle reports, which is why I increased the amount of time I spent on the One Ring. This has changed a little, but it helped to give each forum their own feel. Why did you join or stay with One Ring instead of The Last Alliance? Of community, as it's much the same people, isn't it?" Well, I found the One Ring first out of the two, and got into the hobby through the One Ring, and they helped me with my army lists. Then I went to the tournaments, like grand tournaments, and eventually met sort of, UK Rocky and Lord of the Rings Champion and Black Mist, Michelage, and ended up going towards the TLA more because I was more interested in gaming and not the hobby side of the hobby. So TLA appealed to me more. One Ring was cool, TLA was awesome, and TLA had a really, really, really nice site until the server crashed and we lost it all. So now they've got this very cheap looking PHP background with lots of blues and things, and it doesn't look as great. And I think that's why more people have gone to One Ring, which has a proper website developed for it and looks like an official proper jobby. So yeah, I'll finish up the question here, that's my answer. To be quite honest, I really don't really like the forum theme, the borders, background colour and title picture on the TLA. The old blue one was much more appealing. Is it possible that people might come to dislike the One Ring in the same manner? Any thoughts on the web design aspect of either site? Well, yeah, The Last Alliance was built by a sort of a group of people, and Lord of the Rings Champion sort of really, really, really revamped it. It was pretty bad when he started, and he made it to what it was, and then it's got taken over by someone else whose name escapes me at the moment. But there is someone in control of it who wants to push it further. They were a web design person, it was their job, and they are increasing it in their own free time, but obviously they mustn't be finding the free time to increase its sort of ability to do anything at the moment. Would people come to dislike One Ring in the same manner? People are going to go through, highs and lows, and I think One Ring will always be around for the next sort of decade or so, probably, and then it'll probably peter off and become like many Warhammer forums where they just eventually live their lifespan. Do you have any thoughts about the future of TLA? Perhaps it should take a different focus. Should the two sites merge? I would hate to see the TLA go, but it is a possibility. I'm still finding gems in the archives of the old site. Links below. Cheers, Hodish. Yeah, for those who don't know, the web host deleted the content of TLA without backing it up, so the site had some downtime as it tried to recover the content and eventually found a new host. Yeah, I reckon sort of the TLA's days are numbered. I think people will still find it, people still use it as they prefer, or they've got that sort of, they know the TLA. But yeah, One Ring is going to be the one that we push people towards because it is the nicer looking site and sort of the community is there anyway. Stephen Brown says, I found an excellent video for a scouring. A quick 2-minute video by Vallejo, or is that how you pronounce it, Vallejo? Showing the benefit of using glazed medium instead of water to do your layering, highlighting and blending. You might be able to get the Vallejo folks on board for some painting guides or something if we make enough noise. And the link is there. Yeah, sure, why not? This week the scouring of YouTube is Vallejo glazed medium. I'm going to pop that to one side. If you go on there, say the GBHL channel sent us here. Be sure to comment, like, share, and subscribe. What is it we say? Happy Strategy Battle Gaming? Is that what we say? I'm not good at these scourings, but that's where we're scouring, and I'll get James to read out the names from next week, which we probably won't because he'll forget and I'll forget. But go scouring anyway. Let's get some support drummed up. Next up, we got One Good Riddance. He says, hello guys, I haven't abandoned you. My brother and I relocated to Boston, United States, a month ago, and we're still trying to properly settle down. I've been watching the video backlog, and I'm more excited about the hobby than I have been in a long while. I have no question for this week, just wanted to say hi, and maybe the Rams will have a similar rule to the War Camels. Yeah, with some sort of impact special rule. That'd be cool for the Rams. So thanks, Good Riddance. Hope you settle down well, and get it all sorted soon. Next up is HD Miniatures. Hey guys, this is probably my last question as I'll be on my way to Europe by the time you're finished with this week. What do you guys value most for good and evil forces? Fight value, defense, or courage? Cheers, Harry. For good forces, in everything it's fight value. For Moria, it's defense. I'd take defense 6 over defense 5 any day. P.S. Good news about the trip. Looks like girlfriend and I, will be staying in Manchester for a few days, so should be able to catch up and make enough. We should be easy enough to arrange. Maybe even a quick gym session if you're up for it, James. I'll either send you an email or Facebook to keep in contact before then. See you then. So I messed that up. But cool. Yeah, we'll get a game sorted soon. Next up is Barry O'Neill. He says, hey guys, great work as always. James, regarding Medusel, there are a number of scenarios in the old Battle Games in Middle-earth magazines based on the premise that Saruman attacked Rohan before they could escape to Helm's Deep. They are all fought in Edoras, and one scenario in particular is where Gandalf casts off Saruman's power over Theoden. It is set entirely in Medusel. I do think there were set movement tiles in their scenario, but I'm sure you could work around that. It would be a shame not to get a game or two inside that wonderful terrain piece. Haven't mine to hand, but you could look up the issues if you like. Yes, please do. That would be amazing. I think James wants to do a narrative campaign with Medusel featured, obviously, in it. So yeah, if you could get them sent over to ilovewargaming@gmail.com, that would be fantastic. Thanks, Barry. Next up is Lakitha. It says, thanks for answering my question on what to take for my extra 200 points. I was thinking like a cave drake, but would be better to get more numbers with the shaman and goblins. Taking my total model to 62 for 1,000 point 20. My question this week is, do models with terror need to take courage tests if they want to charge models with terror? Yes, they do. That's usually like a fantasy thing that's followed over, is that models with terror don't need to take terror tests. They still do in Lord of the Rings. Cheers guys for the great video. We really appreciate all the work you've done. Oh, that's cool. No worries. Next up, it's Tur Selagon. He says, hi guys, I've been out the loop for 4 weeks now because I've been on me holes. I haven't got the new Empire magazine to hand, but Peter Jackson says something about the new film and the Orc Army having some cool accessories. Have you seen the interview and any ideas what these new accessories could be? It would be interesting to hear Damien's thought on this as well. Great work and commitment, guys. And as if by magic, Damien has commented, well, seeing as you asked, yep, I've read the article, and the quote from PJ is, the Orcs will have all sorts of creatures, not just trolls, but creatures they have bred for their armies. He then goes on to say that the two sides The two sides fights to see whose accessories are coolest. The key quote is, creatures they have bred. So I expect all sorts of big lumbering war beasts. Maybe creatures like the ones that pulled Grond. Maybe some more fantastical looking monsters. I think it'll be broadly grounded in PJ's version of Middle-earth, but really they could be anything. My guess is PJ and Alan Lee and John Howe... Oh, sorry. Try this again. My guess is PJ asked Alan Lee and John Howe to just run riot with their imaginations, and he picked a couple he liked. Can't wait to see what they come up with though. It'll visually be better to have trolls and big beasties breaking up the hordes of orcs, and it bodes well for new models for an evil side come Christmas. Presuming, of course, they were sketched/designed in advance before the Perrys left, and not just added in post-production late in the day. Thanks from GBHL Damien. Oh, I'll give that a like now. Cool, well, you've had Damien's opinion there. Next up, we've got Stephen Gill. He says, thank you for... Oh, I've said his name again. From Stephen. Thank you for your answer last week. This week's question, Ray the First Warband, is any faction more newbie friendly than others? Having the Hobbit town set moving towards dwarves, or a dwarf band seemed natural, but how newbie friendly? They say, can you mix classic Lord of the Rings dwarves such as Khazad and new Erebor dwarves in the same warband? Thank you for all your hard work. You can't mix them in the same warband. They can have the same army, and dwarves are typically more newbie friendly because of their high defense. I mean, if you make a bad choice, you might not die as quickly as a wood elf or a Woes would. So yes, but you can't mix the warbands now. Next up, we got Mark Yelanich. He says, I've heard you guys a few times in videos describing an army as fluffy. What makes an army fluffy? A fluffy army would be something that is not designed to win a tournament, as in you're not abusing the rules. So let's say if I was taking a Rohan force and I took Theoden, Eowyn and Eomer Marshal of the Riddermark with Riders of Rohan without the Westfold Red Shield upgrade, that would be considered a fluffy army because it's sticking to the books basically. So yeah, sticking to the books is what I would call fluffy. Next up, we got Generation Shift 92. Guys, sorry, it's been 3 weeks since my last comment, but my next sentence will probably redeem this. I've just purchased my ticket to Desolation of Stockport 2.0. That's James. I feel like I've got to catch up with James's things here. Very much looking forward to it. Yay! We shall see you in September. As about armies, as I'm much more of a modeler, painter and sculptor than gamer, I'm going to be bringing a fluffy yet cool looking army of a Cirith Ungol feel. I think I know what I'm going to be using, sort of. Any tips on the list building? I don't want a broken army, but I want it to still give the opposition a good go. Jamie, I've been loving your hobby videos. It's cool to see, and this gives this channel that extra jazz. Oh, thank you. And as always, happy hobbying from Matt. Well, Matt, Cirith Ungol, Mordor Urukai, I guess, are good. Mordor Orcs, Grishnak, Shagrat, that's kind of Cirith Ungol-y. Shelob as well. I don't think it would be broken, but yeah, get it going. It'd be cool to see you. And James can probably just give you all his models to paint as well. Next up, we got Tim the Toolman Taylor. Hello, GBHL people from Canada. My question today is, should I start collecting more Hobbit or Lord of the Rings miniatures? Because according to my supplier, Games Workshop is not going to renew the license. Ooh, that's not good. Make or sell this next January. Oh god, that's awful. So I'm a little under the BE pressure to collect the models of my miniatures as I possibly can. Have a grand day from Cheers from Canada. P.S. Have you guys heard of this? That's the first I've heard of it. Hopefully it's your supplier just, guessing. But that's not good news, if it is true. It's a bit upsetting, really. So yeah, buy them up. Oh. Next up, we got Michael Owens. Is that the Michael Owen? No, that's probably not. Hey guys, I'm new to your channel and just want to say great job. The back reps I've seen on here are extremely well done compared to the vast majority on YouTube, and the Battle Company series has been good fun so far. Hope it's not finished. It's not. Battle Companies is sort of in hiatus at the moment. Unfortunately, James and I just can't get together to play the games. On to my question. I'm thinking of starting to make an army again, albeit rather small, hoping to make an Easterling army. What would you recommend? Cheers guys. Well, you want to go for the Phalanx, Easterling War Priest, and Amder the Lord of Blades. He's good. Maybe even a drum. Next up is Stuart Smith. Hi guys, thanks for letting me know about not proxying. I think I've sorted it out. This is the we're not allowing proxies at our tournament, unfortunately. Because I've slipped to the side again. Because well, we'll be recording things, and we don't want to, promote Games Workshop's game without them having their actual models there. My question this week is, does Fall on the Fat count as having a war horn, as it isn't listed in his Wargear, but he does have one on his model? Thanks, and I look forward to meeting you guys. First round's on me, and by that I mean I'll get you a drink, not everyone. Sweet! This is going to be a great tournament. No, he doesn't have a war horn. If it's not in his Wargear, it's just modelled on for aesthetics. Next up is Kevin Demansky. Hey guys, first off, James, that was awesome. You did it exactly as I hoped you would. I'm glad you didn't do it with an American accent. I also love the background music you chose for the speech, Jamie. As if you knew I was recording. I appreciated the shout out in the Welcome to GBHL Damien video. Oh, you're welcome. My question this week is, which hero do you think is the least useful for both good and evil, any faction in the game? Ooh, the most least useful hero. Even the really rubbish heroes that are like 5 and 10 points have their place, because they're usually just a cheap drop. So it's going to have to be someone in the mid-range, probably like a Captain of Rohan is probably the least. Even though that's 2 might for cheap. The least useful hero. Even Fatty Bolger is a cheap 5-point drop. Can't help you on that one. I don't think any heroes are least useful. Because the cheap ones are cheap so you can get troops in, and the big ones are good because they're expensive. So I don't know. Sorry. All the best from the land of maple and bacon. P.S. You guys are still awesome, but we teachers have to stick together. # Team GBHL Damien for life. Well, that's just fantastic, isn't it? I wasn't a teacher beforehand, just saying. Technician. Next up we got Larry Miller. He says, thanks for the birthday wishes there, James. For this week's question, would you consider, if you can, I don't know how it works on YouTube, putting all of the story scenarios into a playlist, but not in the order they were made, but story order, so one could easily watch through a GBHL retelling of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings once enough of them have been made. Yes, that is the reason I'm doing the hobby vlogs, and that's what I'm going to make eventually. So yes, that will happen. P.S. Jamie, a reason you don't see the Riddler in the films more is that he's hard to write well. Not only do you need to write a convincing genius, you also have to write a convincing Batman smart enough to outwit him. PPS, I'm getting battle companies with withdrawal here. Come on, guys. Yeah, the plan was to record today, but unfortunately James is sick, so we can't do it. So I'm going to do a catch-up video. Billy Fitzmaurice, Jamie, have you trimmed your beard? I have, yes. I trimmed it because it was getting long and itchy and horrible. As for your little hint about who could potentially be Damien's GBHL partner, it's pretty obvious who you're thinking of, and I have to say, I think it would work brilliantly. I feel if you're going to have 2 hosts, then they must be involved in a proper bromance. You two most definitely have one going off, which is probably the main reason for the success of the channel. As for Damien and said person, well, Damien can't go video without mentioning him. So yes, the bromance is there. They both have great knowledge about the game and are both great players, so it's definitely a big thumbs up for your possible new recruit from me. Thanks for all your hard work, and keep it up, guys. He's not that good a player, he's just charming is all. Next up is Furious Warg. He says, hey guys, random question, but do you play Clash of Clans? No, I don't, sorry. I know of it, but I just don't want to get involved in any more games like that. It's my second favourite strategy battle game, even though it's completely different to Lord of the Rings SBG. If you don't, play it and become addicted. Also, Jamie, the Bucklebury Ferry is... After Bucklebury Terry, it's Minas Tirith, right? You can't stop now. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Bucklebury Ferry's giving me enough grief as it is. Next is Harry Owen. He says, hey guys, I've recently got back into the hobby thanks to you. That's brilliant news, Harry. I was just wondering what the best way to base the dwarves is. I find that with sand I have, it's never got enough variety. I kind of want cave-like bases. Thanks guys, and keep up the good work. Well, I'm going to do a shout out to our sponsors, Element Games here. They do a set, get their name right so I can tell you properly. Type in elementgames.co.uk, go into Paints, Hobby and Scenery, and you'll see in Scenery it says Basing and Accessories. And if you look at, not that one is 240k-ish. There's some really cool ones. Where is it? Not them. There's loads of stuff. Slate basing. Well, slate basing kit is pretty cool, but you don't get enough 28mm ones. Oh, there's one that's like Dwarven Ruins. No, that's too fantasy-esque. I know, Skulls and Bones. I'll find it. I'll put a picture up. There's some very, very cool sort of 28mm bases that work perfectly with dwarves. I think it was it Tony put it up on the Facebook group recently, his latest warband of Grimhammers, and they looked amazing. Sorry, I'm just trying to read. Round bases, basing and accessories. Let's see if we can find them. You got rocky round bases, which are pretty good. 28mm. They look cool. They come as resin cast, and you have to paint them up. But that's not the one I'm looking for. The other one's sort of like ruined bases. Ancient round bases. They look really cool. They look sort of like almost Argonath style broken models. They look really good. I'll post a picture up as I'm talking now. So that's about what, half an hour in or something. So yeah. If you want kind of K-Lite bases, get some Element Games resin cast bases. That's my suggestion. Finally, we've got Don Barnett. He says, do you guys generate income from YouTube? Do you receive more money if we let the video advertisements run through? Can you explain how this works? Yeah, we do generate a very, very small income from YouTube. I'll tell you what we've currently generated. Let me find my analytics. Lifetime. So since we enabled the advertisements in January, February, March, April, the 4th of April, since the 4th of April, we have earned $302 through Google advertisements. So that's been 4 months, so averaging about $302 divided by 4, $75 a month. So what's that in pounds? 75. Typed in pounds. $75 in pounds. Looking. Oh, Google didn't tell me. £45 there or thereabouts a month we earn from Google advertising revenues. If you let it run through, we don't earn more money really from doing that. It's if you click through onto the subject that it's promoting, then we will get more money. And then if you were to buy that product, we get even more money. But honestly, the YouTube advertising algorithms aren't brilliant, so you don't always get sort of the things tailored that you'd actually be interested in buying. So I've just opened up our last Speak Friend and Question video, and the advertisement is it's Clash of Clans. That actually might be interesting. Thanks for proving me wrong there, YouTube. But yeah, it can be anything from sort of dubstep to clothes, and it's based on what you've searched in the past. And I've not searched dubstep and clothes. That's like the opposite of what I like. So yeah, that's it. 33 comments. Hope you've enjoyed this week's Speak Friend and Question. It's just been myself. Hope it's not been too bad. Be sure to comment, like, share and subscribe. Support your Hobbit hobby and follow us on Twitter. And happy strategy battle gaming, guys.